Like the Grinch who stole Christmas, these violent video games threaten to rob this particular holiday season of a spirit of goodwill. Instead of enriching a child's mind, these games teach a child to enjoy inflicting torture. I find this segment deeply offensive and believe that it simply should be taken off the market.
Simply put, we are no longer asking whether violent video games may cause harm to our children, especially to our young children. Clearly they can, or the industry would not be willing to rate its own games so that young kids cannot obtain them. The question now is just what restrictions we need to put in place and who should do it.
I know we have people who are critics of the bill that you have introduced jointly and critics of those of us who are concerned about violence on television. These critics are similar in my judgment to those who are standing around still counseling us that there's no evidence cigarettes cause cancer. There's no evidence, they say, that violence on television or violence in video games affects our children. Of course it affects our children. If we lost all common sense, of course it affects our children.
I find that so extremely offensive, and the only word you can say to the manufacturers and the shareholders of the company is shame on you.
We knew that we would lose money by sanitizing Mortal Kombat, but sanitize it we did. And unfortunately, I must say that we have been criticized by literally thousands of young game players for insisting that the death sequences be removed from this game. A rating system is no substitute for corporate responsibility.
The average Sega CD user is almost 22 years old, and only 5% are under the age of 13.
I can't sit here and allow you to be told that somehow the video game business has been transformed today from children to adults. It hasn't been, and Mr. White, who is a former Nintendo employee, knows the demographics as well as I do. Furthermore, I can't let you sit here and buy this nonsense that this Sega Night Trap game was somehow only meant for adults. The fact of the matter is, this is a copy of the packaging. There was no rating on this game at all when the game was introduced. Small children bought this at Toys R Us, and he knows that as well as I do.
I understand that when Night Trap was released, it was not rated, and I might be wrong, but I understand that the first time you rated it at the 13 level. Is that not correct?
You're wrong, Senator. I'm sorry. The rating system went into effect in June. It was rated for the first time, and it was rated MA-17, and it was produced with that label on it from that point forward.
And do you view those over the age of 13 as mature?
There's three designations that the Independent Rating Council chooses to designate the product. It's MA-13, appropriate for teenagers and older, but not for young children with parental
But doesn't
guidance
have the word
suggested.
mature attached to that?
Yes, I believe it does.
And so the presumption is those over 13 years of age are mature?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?